Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. I'm Jim Hacking. There's some weird stuff going on. I hope that you can all hear me. If you're in the waiting room and you can hear me, give me a thumbs up just so I know that my microphone is working. Thank you, Hooli. Hello, everybody. Good to be with you. Episode number 226 of the Immigration Answer Show. Although I may not look like it, I am an immigration lawyer. I am practicing out of our office in St. Louis, Missouri. We're here for the full hour. I'm on vacation. I'm up in Michigan. Let me see if I can show you the lake. Can you guys see the lake? I hope. It's pretty up here. I'm up on the roof of the house we're staying in, and it's pretty nice. But I'm happy to be here with all of you. I'll be taking a vacation day tomorrow, so we won't have a show tomorrow, but we'll be back on Thursday for our last show of the week. Only three shows this week because I'm on vacation. If you haven't already, go ahead and let us know where you're watching from. I see some of the usual suspects. Robert's here, Srija's here, Rocio, of course, is here. Wee's here. Always says hello to Noor and to I, which we appreciate. We got a lot of people in the waiting room. I'm going to go ahead and get this party started. And the first person we're going to talk to is Corinne. Hi, Corinne.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Hanging in. I'm at work.
Looks like you're at work.
Yes, I am. I happen to look at my phone. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna miss the live.
What can I help you with?
Okay, my question is, I applied for husband, my husband in 2020, January 2020, and everything was approved since that year, which is November 5th of 2020. He's in Haiti. For some reason, every time I call them to find out what's going on, I am American, born and raised, and they said that it shouldn't take that long, but in reality, it's taking forever. And it's been 2 years since he's been approved. So now I just looked online, and it actually told me that the DS 260 form is expired since April 2022. But my main question is, how can I get him here quicker? Because I am American. There's no reason why I'm still waiting for him to come, and everything is approved.
Have either of you been married before?
Um, I was a long time ago, like 2014,
Did you sponsor
and divorced.
Did you sponsor anyone for an immigration benefit out of that marriage? No.
Did I sponsor anyone?
Yeah,
Oh
like
no, 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 no.
that wasn't an immigration case.
Mm-mm.
And are other people in Haiti getting visa interviews? Like, do you keep track of that? Have you heard that other people, their cases are going
Um,
through in Haiti?
yeah, I heard a lot of people, and they're telling me, why didn't I do a fiance, because it would have went quicker. I'm like, no, because it's basically the same thing.
Yeah. And when do you know if and when the case was documentarily qualified?
November 5th of 2020, the
Oh,
same
wow.
year. Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I would probably go ahead and sue them. We've sued that embassy in Haiti a few times, and it's worked each time we've sued them. So I think if you sue them, you'll get the case finalized in about 3 or 4 months.
So how do I go about that process? What do I do?
Yeah. So the way it works is like you would send us the I-130 approval notice, the paperwork from the NVC, and then we would draft a lawsuit. It
Uh-huh.
sounds scary, it sounds like you're going to go to federal court. You won't go to court. I won't go to court. It's all done on paper. It's really just a way to get their attention because right now they're not paying attention to your case. And
Right.
so I think that if you sue them, then we would mail them a copy of the lawsuit, and then they have 60 days to start moving on it. Well, when people have already had their interviews, usually it just goes right through and they just finish up the case and then we dismiss the lawsuit. So it works a lot. We've done it 1,200 times. It works about
Hmm.
90% of the time.
Okay, so what do I do to do that? Do I contact your office or?
Yeah. Yeah. Just tell them you were
Okay.
the first. Just tell them you were the first person on the call today.
Uh-huh.
Um, Hooli just put all the contact information, info@hackinglawpractice.com.
Hmm.
She just put it all in the comments. So if you just look in the comments, you can click right over.
Go in the chat and look on the comments.
Yeah, and she'll put it underneath on the bottom of the screen too.
Where it say ready to get started.
Yep, ready to get started. Right there. There's our phone number and there's our email address.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and take care of that like right now.
Awesome. Thanks. Have a
All right,
great
thank you
day.
so much. You
Okay,
too.
have a
Bye
good day
bye.
at work. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right, let's say hi to George. George, are you with us? George. All right, no George. Let's say hi to Sheena. Hi, Sheena.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you again for your talk show.
Of course.
Um, my question is, my fiance is over in Dubai. We applied for the I-29F, and we got like the first receival date, March the 28th. Like, let me know they received the
This year?
payment.
This year?
Hmm?
This year?
This year.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I'm in the US, and he is a Nigerian. So he was planning, the reason my call is we was thinking, since it's really hard for him to get work in Dubai, like it's really a struggle over there right now at the moment. Would it be okay if he moved to Canada in this process, or is it best for him to just stay put?
So the fiance case has been on file for about 3 months or 4 months.
Yes.
And the question is, if moving in the middle of that process, will that help or hurt or not have an effect? Is that the
Yes.
question?
Mm-hmm.
So anytime you move in the middle of a case, it does make it a little bit more problematic, a little slower. It does add time to it. So, from a purely immigration standpoint, I would vote to leave it alone. But at the end of the day, his issues, because he's Nigerian, are going to be bigger than the fact that he moved. In other words, this case isn't going to be a fast case anyway. So, I think that, you know, I would notify USCI if he moves to Canada before the I-129F is approved. I'd notify them of that, make sure that I keep proof of that. And then once you get to the State Department, if they haven't taken note of the fact that he's now in Canada, then you can do that with the NVC and the DS 160. So I think it'd be okay.
Okay. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
All right. That was my question. Thank you.
Bye, Sheena.
Bye bye.
All right, we're just rolling through them. Next up, JP. What do you say, JP?
Hi, Mr. Hacking. How are you?
I'm great. How are you
I hope
doing?
your vacation is going well.
Yeah, we're having fun. I was planning on working all day, but the marketing team let me take a break and I went and jumped in the lake with the kids. The water's really warm here.
Looks
So
great from
usually it's cold, but thanks to global warming, it was warm enough to get in. How are you doing?
here. Doing great. I have quick two questions.
Go
Uh,
for it.
so I came to US with a F1 visa in 2016,
Okay.
and I finished my master's on business last year uh, at the end of 2020, where
Okay.
college started, and I start my OPT after that, and my OPT is confirmed in 21 October, and it's for a year, and it's ended in 22nd October, 2022nd October. I'm
October
sorry,
20,
I'm confused.
October
It's confirmed with
2022.
2020. Yeah, minus 1 year for everything.
Got it. I gotcha.
And during that time, I was in a relationship and I got married. We have been dating 2.5 years so far, and
Okay.
we married in the February. So my OPT term ended in 4.5 months before our official marriage,
Okay.
and I filed my documents May 2 months ago.
Okay.
There is a gap in between the marriage and my OPT term.
Is your spouse a US citizen?
Yes, she is.
Okay. All right, cool. I'm with you. What's up?
Uh, yeah. So is that how big deal is that? I have no idea.
It's not that big a deal. It'll be forgiven. As long as you're honest about all of it. They'll probably ask you, like you knew you were getting married. Your OPT ended. You got married because you love each other and you've been in this 2.5 year relationship. You didn't get married just to get a green card or because your OPT was expiring. So, I would just say you know, you're going to be held to the same standard as any other marriage-based case. But given the fact that you were out of status, that is one of the things on their list of the fraud indicators is when people get married out of status. But you had a long period of status. It's sort of, you sort of graduated and then did OPT. You have a long history together. So I think as long as you put together a solid case, and if they ask you about the timeline, just don't be weird or nervous about it. Just say, yeah, that's right. We got married 4 months after my OPT ended, and we filed 2 months later. And then just be quiet. Don't be all nervous or apologetic about it, and just bring them a bunch of marital evidence. I think you'll be fine.
As long as they ask, right? If
Well,
they don't ask,
they'll yeah. I mean, you never want to bring up stuff that isn't helpful, but this is something that'll come up for sure. You can plan on it coming up just because of the timeline.
I see.
But they're not going to care, though. That's the thing. As long as you're married to a U.S. citizen, it's automatically forgiven if the marriage is real. So as long as you prove up the marriage, you're good to go.
Second question. My OPT was based on my studies MBA. My BS is on mechanical engineering, and I don't know how is right to say that. I worked as an engineer in a company, and I mentioned I was worked as self-contracted. I don't know if I can do that in my OPT term.
Yeah. So here's what I would say about that, JP. Don't dig too hard on that. I think you're fine. Just don't think about that too much.
One problem, while I'm filing, it asked my position in the company. I said for this company, and as an engineer, but I was even like I was not even payroll. I was just self-contracted.
So here's what you need to think about for that. Okay, there's a plane going overhead. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that you got OPT on day one and then you never went to work, right? So let's say instead of you being out of status for 14 months at the time you got married, you were out of status or instead of 4 months, you were out of status for a year and 4 months. Let's just say. Again, it's forgiven. So again, don't lie about it. Don't be squirrely about it. Don't be weird about it. Don't bring it up. But if it comes up, as long as you were properly admitted into the United States, which you were because you were on your F1, as long as that happened, and as long as the marriage is real, everything else they can sort of buzz off about.
Thank you so much. I was just overthinking about that. I appreciate your show, your channel, and this work you do is very underrated. We immigrants are very appreciate your job.
Thanks, JP. Love you, buddy. See you, man.
Thank you. Bye.
Later. All right. That was JP. All right. That was a fun little call. He's overthinking things. Don't overthink things. Just get that case approved. You marry a U.S. citizen, you're in good shape as long, like I said, as that marriage is legit. All right, next up, the Dunya. What's up, Dunya? Dunya Trucking's out of here. Let's say hi to Christopher. Christofina, are you with us?
Yes.
How are you?
I'm
Hello?
good. Thank you. Yeah, I have a question, sir. My husband came on a DV from Liberia, and then he didn't listed his kids doing his application. He never listed his kids. So doing his first citizenship interview, they denied him for the first time because they told him to send approval that he should send some evidence that he's supporting his kids back home. So the evidence wasn't sufficient, and then they denied him. So the second time again, he was denied. So he appealed. He did appeal, and then it was approved. But then two of the kids, one is 23 already, and the other one will be 21 in December because he filed for the kids. But he filed since 2018. And since then, he has been very, very tough. We don't know.
He filed for them while he was a green card holder.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, so there's lots of ways to think about this, Christofina. One way to think about it is that they're mad at him because he didn't list his kids on the diversity visa, right? Mm-hmm. So one punishment that they could give him for not listing him on the diversity visa application, one thing they could do is to try to take away his green card. They could have done that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't,
Yes.
right? They gave him his citizenship, even
No,
though
they haven't given a citizenship yet, but he was approved. And then the officer said he will send that notice. He will send his document for approval since March. So since 4 months now, we haven't heard anything.
oh, so it was recommended for approval. It's not actually approved. He's still a green card holder.
Yes.
Okay. So what I was going to say is that in my experience, sometimes they view this there's a phrase that I use, it's rough justice, like unequal justice, right? So
Okay.
it's almost like, and this is just me guessing, but what I've seen, okay, it's almost like they say to themselves, well, we don't want to go to all that trouble to take away this fellow's green card because that would be a big hassle, but you know what, we're not going to let him get his citizenship, and we're probably not going to let his kids come on a green card application. Like, that's what I've seen. Like, if he really kept pushing it, like, if like, I'm not convinced they're going to give him his citizenship. Like, I don't believe they're going to give him his citizenship, even though he went up on appeal. Maybe they will, but I think they're going to make it hard for the kids to come, right? So I think that in their mind, they sort of say, well, we're not going to give you everything we want, but we're not going to take everything away either. So really, Christofina, all I'm really saying is anything could happen. They could make him a citizen and let his kids come. They could not make him a citizen and let his kids come. They could not make him a citizen, not let the kids come. And they could, in theory, not let the kids come and come after his green card and try to deport him. All those things are possible. But
So,
they really don't like it. And we've actually looked into this exact question about, because when it comes to misrepresentations with USCIS or the State Department, the question is always, is it material? Is it important? Like, it's not that important as to whether or not somebody worked at this job or that job. Like, that's not a big deal. But they've said in case law and in decisions that not listing children on the DV application is material, that it is important, and that by not disclosing those children on his diversity visa application, the phrase that they use is, it cut off a line of inquiry. It kept them from asking questions that if they'd been able to ask those questions, they might not have given him the diversity visa. So what I would say is, if he gets that citizenship, I'd really like it if he came back and told me that, because I'd be happy for him. But I'm entirely convinced he's going to get his citizenship. And if he doesn't get his citizenship, I don't know how hard he wants to push on the kids' cases, because I'm worried that if he doesn't get his citizenship and they push on that, he pushes on the kids' cases, that they might just get pissed off and say, we're coming after your green card too.
So just in case he become a citizen, our older son, he's already 23. Will he be out of, I don't know, that age?
Aged out? I don't know. I'd have to do all the math. There's a statute that could protect him, but that all depends on the timeline. I'd have to do, like, I'm a lawyer, so I don't like to do math, but that's the one kind of math I can do. But it all depends on filing date, status, age, how long USCIS processed the case. There's like 5 different things that go into that. So to that, I would say maybe not.
Okay. I will let him know so he can contact your office, because he at work, and most often he doesn't have time to really be on your show. So I will tell him when he comes.
Yeah, tell him to watch.
Okay.
All right, bye, Christofina.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for the call. All right, that was a fun one. That's an interesting one. Let's go back and see if we can get Dunya. Dunya hopped on there for a second. Dunya, are you there?
Yep, I'm here. How are you, Jim?
Good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I gotcha. What's up?
Yep, I have 2 questions. First question, I'm a green card holder and I have a case for fraud case, and they offer me Alfred plea. What does that mean, Alfred plea?
Alfred plea means I'm not a criminal defense lawyer, but generally I think an Alfred plea is, yeah, I'm not going to admit that I did it, but I admit you might have enough evidence to show that I did it.
Yes, but how about the consequence of immigration?
That's a guilty plea. Yep, that's a guilty plea.
And then if I commit the crime for fraud more than 10,000, can I get automatically deported or?
Yeah, you're probably. I mean, here's the thing. Number one is, so I'm glad you called, because sometimes, like, you guys who are watching, sometimes criminal defense lawyers call me and they'll say, "Hey, I've got this guy. He's charged with fraud. They want him to take an Alfred plea. I'm walking into court, Jim. Do you think I should take the plea or not?" And I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, you're walking into court right now. So, Dunya, I would say that you need to hire a lawyer to help your criminal defense lawyer see if there's a way that we could structure the guilty plea in a way that doesn't make you an aggravated felon. I don't know how much is at risk and how much it's at issue, but sometimes, and I don't know how willing the prosecutor would be to help you, but sometimes they're willing to work with us, and we've been able to get guilty pleas or Alfred pleas or nolo contendere for things that let the person stay in the United States.
Okay, but in case if I convicted fraud and the immigration
you're probably going
without no waiver.
No waiver, not for an ag fel. No.
Okay, thank you, Jim.
Good luck, my friend. All right. Let's say hi to Jessica. What's up, Jessica?
Hi, Jim. Thank you so much. I'm good. Hope you're enjoying your vacation, even though you're here. Cool. So what I have here is that I'm Brazilian. I live in Brazil, and I've been in a relationship with an American citizen since 2017. We worked together. So yeah, we met in the US. And since then, we've been kind of back and forth. And we never lived together for like an extended period of time. We only stayed together for like a few months. And last month we got married, and I was on a tourist visit. Yeah, it was great. So we got married in the US, and now we're thinking like how we're gonna proceed, because I'm back in Brazil. I'm not in the US.
Why'd you go back?
Because of work. I didn't want it to be out of work, basically, and didn't want to, like, I have responsibilities as well, and we both have careers, and so I didn't want to, so our idea is just basically how can we be together, and so for him, because of his work, will be better for me to move because I'm a remote contractor. But that's the thing, like, I'm in Brazil, and we're trying to figure how to apply for the visa, and that's my question. Like, I have no idea how to start and how we're going to do this.
Sure. So, okay. Well, first of all, I'm really glad you called, and this is a great question. And we get this a lot, either right before the people get married or right after they get married, right? So, because when you're young and of a marrying age and you're exploring sort of fiance or spouse here or away, there's lots of moving parts. And so where I always start, Jessica, is forget immigration for a minute. And it sounds like you've already talked about the plan is for us, at least for a while, to be in America, right? So walk me through what your timeline would be. What if you had a magic wand and you said you have responsibilities and a job and all that stuff. Walk me through when you'd want to be in the United States and have the ability to maintain your job and do all that stuff.
That's a great question. As you can see,
I've done this once or twice. Yeah, I've done this once or twice.
Yeah, I'm not prepared to answer that question.
Okay.
Yeah, I would love to be like, we would love to be together as soon as possible. But with work, like I wouldn't be able to be out of work for like 6 months. Yeah, I don't think I could be out of work for more than that. And so that's why I'm like,
well, so let's pretend we have a little time machine and we were talking 3 months ago. Number one, I probably would have said getting married but not applying for an immigration benefit right away makes things a little bit tricky from an immigration standpoint, right? So now if you try to go up on your visit visa back to the United States and they ask, hey, are you married to a U.S. citizen? Oh, yeah, now I am. And they're like, oh, we don't know if we want to let you in. I think they still would, but they'd give you trouble, right? So let me just walk through hypothetically the different options that you have, and then you can talk to him and figure out what works for you. Okay. So you are married. You are married to a U.S. citizen. So because you're married to a U.S. citizen, that U.S. citizen can apply for immigration benefits for you. And they can do that sort of one of two ways. One is if you're in Brazil, and one is if you're in America, right? So if you re-enter the United States on a visit visa and we're hanging out for a while, and I would say you'd have to wait more than 60 days from entry. If you decided while you were here that you wanted to apply for a green card, then you could apply for a green card, and you could stay the whole time that case is pending. So if it takes 9 months, if it takes 2 years and 9 months, or 1 year and 9 months, you can stay the whole time. When you apply, you would also apply for a travel document and a work card. So once you say you want a green card, you can't leave until you get that travel document, because if you leave, then the green card case is abandoned, and then you have to do everything at the embassy. You would also apply for that work card. Now, the work card and the travel card both take about 6 to 8 months to get after you file. Okay, so you wouldn't be able to work for an American company. Could you work remotely for your company from Brazil? I say yes, but I take a pretty aggressive stance on that, right? So the thing to keep in mind is that, let's say that I'm wrong. Let's say Jim's an idiot, and Jim said, yeah, I could go ahead and work for my Brazilian company while I'm hanging out in America. If that were true and I was wrong, that would still be forgiven because you're married to a U.S. citizen, right? So when you go to your green card interview, as long as you don't lie about the fact that you've been working for this Brazilian company in Cleveland, Ohio, while your green card case was pending, that would be forgiven. If you lied about it and said, oh, no, I wasn't doing any work for Brazil, then you get in trouble for lying, right? Okay, so that's sort of one option. The other option would be you are now married. Your husband tomorrow could file an I-130 petition for you and say, I am Joe and I'm married to Jessica and she's down in Brazil. I want to bring her here and I want to get her a green card. He files an I-130 and an I-130A. He files that with USCIS. That's pending for like 9 to 12 months, hopefully faster, but probably around 11, 12 months. That case gets approved at USCIS. Then the case gets transferred to the State Department, to the National Visa Center. Your husband would get online, pay some fees, fill out a whole new set of forms called the DS-260 to then file to bring you here to the United States. That's all done online. He pays the filing fees. He submits evidence that he can financially support you. And then eventually, whenever the embassy in Brazil gets around to scheduling you for an interview, which would be like a year later, then you get to go down there, get your visa, and then you come to the United States, you pay one last fee, and your green card comes in the mail.
Okay, that's good to know. I also work for an American company, which makes the first option kind of hard. Yeah, that's the issue.
Well, okay, so but let's just say that you were very, very naughty, and instead of working remotely for this American company, let's say that you landed in America, you waited the 60 days, you filed for your green card, and you started working right away for that company, or working again for that American company. And let's say you just worked at their store in front of everybody. That again would be forgiven if your marriage is real.
Oh, okay. I see. Well, that's good to know. I had no idea. I was very scared. That's one of the reasons, like because we are very impulsive, and so and so that's why I came back, because I don't want to be out of status, or I don't want to be doing anything wrong.
Right. No, I appreciate that, and everybody will appreciate that. And in fact, the fact that you left and then go back, that all makes your case stronger anyway. So it's all good. It's all good. You just didn't know.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Just one more question.
Sure.
Should I was watching one of your videos about, it's a little older one, but it's about the difference between applying through mail or online. And I want to know where you're at right now.
Still on paper.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. That's been so helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, yeah, we're still on paper. We're gonna do some pilot projects and do some electronic filing, but we got to have the right clients and the people who are comfortable with sort of trying new things. So, all right, let's say hi to OG. OG, are you with us?
Yes, can you hear me?
I got you. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. What can I
Um,
help you with?
so my case is a little bit complex, but to sum it up, I got married 5 years ago, um, and we went through the whole thing. We went through the interview, the wait, extensive wait. I did get an RF feedback, sent in additional information. Case was denied. Um, Case was
Why?
denied because of fraud. Um, so I was very honest with my attorney that my parents, got me in the U.S. on a fraud document, and it's
Mm.
actually a fraud U.S. document. I still had the document. I kept it. They didn't realize I had it, but I kept it because I just thought, let me just be honest with how I got here, and I turned it over to the attorney. They produced it, and so that's why the case was denied. Marriage was great at that time. Now my marriage has gone to hell, but it's it was great at that time. So I have a two-part question. Um, with that, they kept on quoting the matter of Patel, BIA 1988, in the decision of
Okay.
the denial. And I was reading into that case, and it was saying something about um, possibly being able to, I guess, appeal to your attorney general of your state to, I guess, go over your case, like just a one-off thing to see if you can be granted a green card in that way. Have you ever encountered something like that, or have you ever encountered um, beating the whole misrepresentation
Well,
uh, fraud issue?
first of all, I'm sorry you're going
Child
through all this.
time, by the way.
Yeah. So,
I am I am a DACA recipient, so I do currently still have DACA.
was the fraudulent document a fake U.S. passport?
Yes.
So, did they make the argument that you made a false claim to citizenship, or just that you used a false document?
It wasn't clear. It's just when I did my FOIA request recently, they just wrote fraud on the document, um, on the form. So
Wasn't there a
they
denial notice?
there yeah there was there was a denial, and it was just saying fraud. There was no mention of false claim to
Okay,
citizenship. So
that's good.
I'm sort of unclear what they're trying to specify and how the law applies, because I know there's a waiver for fraud, but I know there's a permanent bar for claiming U.S. citizenship,
Which is why
um,
I asked.
or before a certain time. My
Right.
time was around 1999, which I think I just hit that when the bar came into place.
Right.
Um, and I've heard of, random people, not many people being able to get the green card after the fact. It's just extremely difficult. So I just didn't know if you've had that type of experience.
I've looked at cases like this before, and we've brushed up against this. I wouldn't say one that was this overt, but let me ask you this question: did they approve the I-130 and deny the 485, or what happened?
Correct. The I-130 was approved and the 485 was denied. The adjustment was denied.
And you say things aren't good now with the marriage?
No, no. It was starting to go downhill probably the summer of 2019, around the time I had a family reunion, and then it's just been worse ever since. His mom died of COVID. We've had a argument. We had a really bad argument in which she contracted COVID when it first came about, and he was like
Right.
really pissed with me ever since, and that kind of just was like the nail in the coffin for him, I guess. But I didn't think it was the worst thing ever to say. But either way, he's just been neglectful. I've had back surgery recently. He hasn't showed up for me. He just doesn't show up in our marriage anymore, and has checked out.
When was the 45 denied?
2019, June
Any
of 20.
any thought as to whether or not he asked USCIS to revoke the I-130?
No, no,
Um,
I highly doubt he did that. He pretty much left everything up to me. He was really present in the marriage up until his mom contracted COVID.
yeah.
Um,
And do you
and
have any
you know,
children?
he has a child. We don't have a child together because I've been having fertility issues,
Yeah.
which I need surgery for. But again, he's not present, so we won't be having children together.
So if you're willing, I'd be willing to take a look at everything. I'd like to see the FOIA. I'd like
Okay.
to see the denial, and I'd like to see the time frame.
Okay.
It's an interesting case. It's complicated and messy, but
Yeah.
the, the the biggest problem for me right now, OG, is that we still sort of need him to play ball, I think. I mean, it's good the I-130 was approved.
If the fraud aspect isn't or can be taken care of, I was willing to file a VAWA because he's like really not present in our marriage. I've been through a lot in this last year, 2 years, and to say I can depend on him that's just something I can't say. I cannot depend on him.
Yeah. Well, whether that rises to the level of a VAWA, I don't know. But if you want to email me your stuff, especially the FOIA, I'd like to look at it, and then I can get back to you in a couple days.
Okay. Where would I send the email? To the hacking?
Yeah, that info@hacking. Yep.
Okay.
Just make sure to tell them you were on the show.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Hang in there.
All right. Thank you.
Bye. All right. That's a tough situation. You know, sometimes things go downhill, and then it's hard to keep it going. All right. Let's say hi to Trevor. What do you say, Trevor?
Okay. Hi, Jim. How are you doing?
Just make sure to tell them you were on the show. Oh, good. Can you turn off that mic?
All right. Thank you so much.
Hang in there. Turn off YouTube or something.
Are you hearing me?
All right. I'm hearing you, but I'm hearing two of you. So can you close YouTube or whatever you're watching on? Hard to keep it going.
Are you hearing me better?
Yeah, that's better. Perfect.
Oh, okay.
What's up?
I'm good. I've got well, my issue is my girlfriend, we've been dating for like 4 or 5 years now, and we finally decided to take the next step.
Put a ring on
it. Yeah. Well, the thing is, she's got a kid that's a U.S. citizen from a previous relationship. She's 13 years old. The kid is a U.S. citizen, but my girlfriend, she lives in another country. The thing is, I'm now on disability, so I wanted to know how much that affects me bringing her over here.
So, do you want to bring her and the kid, or just you? I guess because the kid can come because they're U.S. citizens.
Well, bring her here because I have a daughter that's going into university as well. So I don't know how much that, when it comes to support, how much that affects. You understand what I'm saying?
I do. So the big question is, how much is your adjusted gross income? So on the tax return, line 21, what's the adjusted gross income? Is your Social Security disability, is your disability income treated as income? Like, do you get taxed on that?
No.
Yeah. So I think you're going to need a co-sponsor.
Whoa. Well, that's going to be a big hurdle.
So it can be any citizen or green card holder who says that if she comes to the United States and gets immigration benefits or gets financial benefits and that you can't pay them back, that they'll pay them back.
Whoa. All right, because my daughter's going into university as well, so basically it's gonna be that'd be co-signing for my daughter, her daughter, and for her. That that basically was that's what you're telling me, right?
Well, you'll still be the main sponsor no matter what, but you probably
Yeah.
don't make enough to be the only sponsor. So you're going to have to find a friend or a family member who's willing to be the backup sponsor.
Whoa. Okay. I pretty much that's what I was thinking. So that's not very good news.
Now, you don't need that right away, Trevor, so you can file it now. You'll need that like a year from now. So you don't have to do that right. You don't have to find that person right away, but you definitely want to spend some time in the months to come to do that.
So what will I have to do? Will she be able to come up and she come up here and we get married here in the what the fastest way to do it?
So that's a different question. So does she have a visa to the United States?
Well, she can travel to the U.S. Yes.
Yeah. So if she can't come with the intention of getting a green card, but if she came and decided to get married and decided to apply for the green card and stay, then that would be okay. But now if you do that route, then you are going to need that co-sponsor sooner. If you go the other route where she does it overseas, then you have more time to find a co-sponsor.
But I gotta get the co-sponsor before she arrives here.
Well, I wouldn't do that because you don't want to. So there's this whole concept, Trevor, called immigrant intent.
Oh,
If she,
okay.
if she has immigrant intent, that's a big problem when she comes. So I wouldn't do much to get started until after she's been here for a while. Let her come see the country. Let her come spend some time with you. Don't rush and get married on the very first day you can. Take your time, and then maybe the three of us can all talk then about what needs to happen. Like I would do it. I wouldn't do the affidavit support stuff, the co-sponsor stuff too early.
Right. Okay. I get where you're coming from.
All right. Thanks, Trevor. Good luck, buddy.
All right. Thanks a lot.
See you later. All right. That was Trevor. Let's say hi to Kay. Kay, are you with us?
Can you hear me?
I got you, Kay. How you doing?
Okay, I'm doing good. You doing all right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm at work, so I have to just find a place to hide myself.
You're fine, buddy. You're fine.
Okay.
What's up?
So I got two questions for my friend. So one is he's arriving alien. So he came in as a arriving alien. He applied for asylum, and then now he's married to a U.S. citizen, and now he filed for the I-130 and I-485, but his case was dismissed. He just applied for something and then they dismissed his case, so he doesn't have to go to the court anymore since he's married.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's waiting for his interview. They haven't called him yet since he applied for the I-130 on the 12th of 26th December 2019, my bad. And he hasn't got anything from them yet. So he was asking, can he file a mandamus so that they can speed it up, or he has to wait?
Yes. No, he can and he should. That's a good mandamus lawsuit because they're not, if they've been waiting 2.5 years. They're confused. They don't know what it means that he's an arriving alien. They don't know that they have jurisdiction to decide the 485. So that's a good lawsuit case.
Okay. And then the second one too is like a friend of mine. She just had her citizen, but she's been here almost like 7-8 years, married to a U.S. citizen, and then she's now a citizen. But she wanted to file for her dad. Her dad is sick in her country, and then she wanted to file for him to come here.
Yeah.
So can he does it? Can he file it and then let his dad, her dad, come here, or he can't? She can't do that.
Yeah, one of the benefits of being a U.S. citizen is you can sponsor your mom and dad. So yeah, for sure she can.
Okay. So is she not gonna have any problem with the immigration that your dad is sick? Maybe he's coming here to get benefit and all that?
Well, they'll want to make sure that, I mean, she's going to have to sign the affidavit of support. She's going to have to show that she can support him. But,
Okay.
but I mean, unless he has some kind of medical condition that's going to come up at the medical exam that he'll have, it should be okay.
Yeah. I think he has diabetes. He's diabetic, so
Yeah. So
that's
that'll be
why.
okay. That'll be okay.
Okay. All right. All right. So what are the stuff that she needs to do for what are the procedure or the process to get that?
Yeah. So it's just like a spouse case. So she'll file an I-130. She'll file her birth certificate and proof that he's her father. And she'll probably want to submit some evidence of their relationship. And then once that's approved, then it'll go to the National Visa Center and then to the embassy. So the whole, just like a spouse case.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Jim. I appreciate you a lot, and I appreciate the program you're doing. You're helping a lot of us, and we're learning a lot from you. Thank you,
Awesome.
and God bless you.
Thanks, Casey, buddy.
Okay. Bye.
Thanks for the good question. See ya. All right, let's say hi to Duvall. Hi, Duvall.
Hello, Jim. If you remember me, I was on the show while I was in the U.S. Right now, I'm in India, so it's like 2:30 a.m. here. But excited to have some supper time with you.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
No. That's the U.S. visa process. Not your fault. So I wanted to follow up on the thing we discussed last time. What we discussed last time was about an F-41 petition. So I was in the U.S. on a student visa, and my father, who's a primary applicant in the F-41, like brother, sister, spousal case, just received a consular appointment. So I went there with my family, my dad, my mom, my brother, and myself.
Yeah.
The visa officer asked questions around just the relationship with the sister. He also asked if somebody from our family had been to the U.S. before. My father said my son, which is me, and he asked me where did you go? I said just my university. He asked for the tax returns, and in the end, he said like your visa is approved for the three of them, and was not approved for me because of the CSPA situation. My CSPA age is 21 years and 22 days.
Oh,
so really heartbreakingly close. And now we're at a point where it's like, I'm like here and they have received approval. So just wanted to see if there's anything we could do to like file a appeal or a claim. The reason for that is my name is in the appointment, like the interview letter. My DS-260 fee, my visa fees were paid and everything, and we didn't know up until the very last second of the appointment that he's gonna deny my visa. Everything was very smooth until the last point.
But do you think their math is right, or is their math wrong?
So I worked full time at a U.S. company in Intuit, and I had the immigration lawyers there check that as well, and they said that they were the ones who told me that my CSPA is. I'm not qualified under CSPA.
Yeah. So if that's the case, then I think if the math is correct, I think you don't get to come.
Okay, and there's no way to like fight that.
No, if the math is correct, they can't give you a green card. They can't give you a visa.
Okay. So I guess that's like all hope's lost. Then it's just like them coming here and then filing a petition for me and me remaining married. The other chance is, since I work for a U.S.-based company, to go to a different country and just have an EB-1 transfer through the company.
Were you on OPT or were you on H-1B?
So I was on OPT. I had 1 year of OPT after my work. The company filed for my H-1B, but I was not lucky enough. And what they did after was they filed for a work permit for me in Canada, which is still under process.
I remember. Yeah, and I mean they can apply for you again in April if they want.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I was just saying they can apply for you again next year if they want, the employer.
Yeah. Do you think there's going to be a second draw in August?
Might be. Yeah.
Okay. Because that's could be one ray of hope. But nothing about the F41 petition that you could do to get me in on that.
If the math is right, there's nothing anybody can do.
Okay, I see you. Because I called the U.S. Tribal Docs office this morning, which is the number that was listed on the slip that the consular office gave me, and they said to just go back, like get an appointment to the embassy and for just me and talk to the consular officer again. But I don't know if that's how it works.
They're just being nice, but if the math is right, the math is the math.
Yeah. Okay, so it's like a black and white line. When there's
it is. Yeah.
All
right, Javal. Good luck, buddy.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Later. All right. That's a bummer. 22 days. That's hard to believe. That really sucks. Missing out on a green card by 22 days. That's freaking 3 weeks. Let's say hi to the KC, the kid. What's up, KC? Are you there, KC? Nope. All right. Let's say hi to Lamar. What's up, Lamar?
Hello, Mr. Jim. Finally, I made it. Thank you so much for letting me and give me this chance to be in this show and ask you my questions.
Go for it, brother.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm here calling from Qatar. I used to live in the United States for 7 years.
Okay.
And it's a long story. I've been with the B1, B2 visa to the United States. I overstayed my visa, and after a couple of years, I married my wife. She's an American citizen, native. And I have a child, like 5 years old now. During my application for B2 visa in my home country, I misrepresented myself married with a woman that she's not my wife. We get the visa together, and she's not my wife.
What
this
country?
is in my country. Yeah, this is
what country? What country was it, Lamar?
Tunisia. From Tunisia.
Got it.
I misrepresented myself as a married person, but I am not. So while I'm in the United States, I was placed in deportation proceeding before I get married. So I was having proceeding before I get married. Once I get married, and Trump administration got there, they wanted to deport many people. So I have to show up in the. They put me in custody, and I show up in the court from the custody. Then I was having an approved I-130. They revoked for that misrepresentation of marriage, telling the judge that I am not free from that woman to marry my U.S. wife citizen. I write it to the USCIS
that's one of their favorite
I am.
Tricks.
Excuse me?
That's one of their favorite tricks. If you lie about being married, then they say, "Oh, well, you weren't free to marry."
Yeah, the misrepresentation. I don't need a waiver for misrepresenting myself as a married when I'm not married. I have also the officer of USCIS has made a mistake to revoke the petition, the I-130 petition, because he has my birth certificate proving that I am not married to that woman. But they went through that, they revoked the petition, and the judge asked me if I want asylum. I said no. Asked me if I want volunteer departure. I say I have no money to pay the ticket. So he ordered me deported. So automatically I will be having 10 years bar to come back to the United States. Right. Before I go back to my country, my wife filed the second I-130, which is in December 2019. So that means we are in 2022. My petition was there pending for 3 years and a half. Until now, I have made all kind of requests, me and my wife, inquiry. We went to ombudsman. We called the congressman. They keep saying background check. We're going to call you for interview. They didn't call for interview because I think they have the first interview recorded and they have used that and they waived the interview. They went through all the processing. Now they are saying the last answer I got from the ombudsman. It was a couple of days ago. They have said that they received an answer from the USCIS saying that USCIS actively now is reviewing my case, and the USCIS say allow 60 days to request and ask for your file and review it and give you our decision. I'm tired from waiting. My child is being placed in the
Right.
United States in a foster care parent. My child is 5 years. I have a case of custody of my child because the wife is sick and she has PTSD and she's not able to be a source of parental. I need to go back to the United States as soon as possible. Otherwise, my daughter is going to be placed in adoption. So I'm planning to sue them. So I wanted to get a view of this very complicated situation and to ask you this question. My I-130 is in process, but 3 years and a half that's too long. I'm tired of waiting. I have placed I-212, which is reapplied to admission to the United States after deportation. I have submitted the petition with all the proof that I have never married that woman. I just use it to get the visa to go to the United States.
What proof?
And
proof,
I want to
proof,
get your opinion about
proof,
this case.
What proof do you have that you never married that woman?
Yeah, the usual proof. I went through getting my original birth certificate and stamped it in the Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Justice, and translated to English and stamped it and everything, which show that I have been married to an Irish woman before and it was divorced, and I have submitted the divorce decree. That woman, I cannot bring proof for divorce for a woman that I never been married to, which is when it's not mentioned in the birth certificate, which is the main proof in my country to show if you are free from any marriage. That means automatically I'm free from any kind of marriage, and I'm able to be to qualify as a U.S. citizen husband, and they have to approve me the I-130.
So you asked for my opinion. I think that I can get you a decision. I think I could sue them. I think I get a decision on your long pending second I-130, but I think it'd be a denial. I don't think they're ever going to let you come back to the United States.
Why not?
Because you misrepresented yourself and they don't want to let you back in.
Normally, when you are married to a U.S. citizen, you are qualified for a waiver for any misrepresentation.
Not any misrepresentation. That's not true.
Not any. There is misrepresentation that you need waiver, and there is misrepresentation that you don't need a waiver for.
Right. But I believe no matter what you do, waiver-wise, I mean, I think the chances of you coming to the United States at the end of the day are 10% or so. So I'm happy to file a lawsuit. I'll take your money and file a lawsuit. I'm just telling you, I think they're going to try to deny the I-130.
They're going to try to deny the I-130. If they wanted to deny it,
then they're going to take 4 years to decide the waiver, and then they're going to deny the waiver, and then they're going to say, "Come get us. Do what you want, Lamar. We don't care."
I filed the I-212 and I-212 or I-12 and I-130.
Right. But they don't want to. They're not going to want to let you back in the United States. I mean, I haven't looked at your documents. I haven't seen what happened with the judge. I haven't seen the proof that you have. I haven't seen anything. But just based on what you told me, I think you have about a 5 to 10% chance of coming back to the United States, and it's going to be 4 or 5 years, and it's probably going to cost somewhere between $10,000 and $20,000.
Wow.
Yeah. You're thinking about this all wrong. You're thinking that you have rights. You're thinking that they treat things fairly. You're thinking that they will look at your evidence that you weren't married to that woman in Tunisia and say, "Oh boy, we were wrong. He didn't really misrepresent himself. That was an imaginary person. Let's let him in. Open arms. Come on in." That's completely wrong thinking. What you should be thinking is, my name is Lamar Muhammad. I'm from Tunisia. I lied to get into the United States. Then I married someone after I was in removal. And then that I-130 got revoked. And we have a government that doesn't want to let men from Muslim countries into the United States. I'm fucked. That's what you should be thinking about.
Yeah, I know. I'm fucked. I know. I am already fucked. I'm living here in Qatar. My daughter is living there, and the situation is about my daughter. I want to go back there. Otherwise, I'm living quietly good in Qatar, and if they give me my daughter, I will never go back to the United States.
You know who cares about your daughter? You. You know who else cares about your daughter? Me. You know who doesn't care about your daughter? USCIS and the State Department. That's who doesn't care about your daughter.
Because I have a couple of friends like same situation like me, and they become citizen and they are still in the United States.
Right. All right, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go, Lamar. Okay, buddy.
Thank you so much, Mr. G.
Good luck, buddy. All right, I see someone named Jamaica Hot Topic wants to get on, but I don't see him in the waiting room. Jamaica Hot Topic, where are you, Jamaica Hot Topic? Jamaica Hot Topic. I just like that name, Jamaica Hot Topic. And many of you know we have a lot of fans and friends in Jamaica. I was going to go a little bit long to talk to Jamaica Hot Topic, but I don't see him here in the waiting room. Let me see if Huli knows who. Hey, Huli, do you know who Jamaica Hot Topic is?
Hi, no, I don't know, and I don't see him in here either.
Yeah. All right. They said they had an important question. All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap. I'll be back on Thursday. I think we're at 1 o'clock, right? Usual time, 1 o'clock on Thursday. Yep.
Thursday, yeah, 1 o'clock. Sorry, I'm gonna put that time here very quickly.
1 p.m. Central.
1 p.m. Central Time. So we were waiting, and don't forget everyone.
Yeah, we got 236 people watching.
Sorry.
Yeah, go leave us a review. We need some more reviews. Leave us a review. Reviewhackinglaw.com. We'd appreciate it. There's 237 people. If only 10% of the people left us a review, we'd have 23 new reviews tomorrow. So if you get any kind of value out of this show, if you appreciate me working on my vacation and talking to all of you about immigration stuff, if you have 60 seconds and can go to reviewhackinglaw.com, leave us a quick review. We'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, we'll see you, and Huli will see you on Thursday at 1 p.m. Thanks, everybody. Peace out.
Bye.